this is Carl Dieckmann. I'm a Keller Williams agent in the Northwest Austin area. I work with my wife on the Emily Dieckmann real estate team. And this video today is going to be about Keller Williams profit share. So if you're a Keller Williams agent or you're thinking about becoming a Keller Williams agent, you might find this video useful. I'll include my sources in the comments section of this video so you can follow up there and verify or look at some of the things I looked for this video. And please feel free to leave me questions or comments. So what is Keller Williams profit share? Well, it's a means of monetarily incentivizing people, whether they're agents or employees, to recruit other agents into the Keller Williams system. Before I dive into profit share and how it works, I kind of need to talk about the Keller Williams commission split structure first. So unless you work for a flat fee broker, you probably have some form of commission split between your brokerage and yourself as an agent. For myself, it's a 64-36% split where I get to keep 64% and KW, we'll talk about this part in a little bit here more, keeps 36 of that. Now, one of the key differences with KW, a few other brokerages have this, is they have what they call a cap structure. So after I do $2 million in production for a year, I do what they call cap, and after that I keep 100% of my transaction, and with the exception of about an $85 transaction fee. So folks, this is really, really big. This is a big deal for my wife and I. We cap early, and then keeping all that transaction, or that commission, is really great, and it puts a lot of money in our pocket at the end of the year. For this profit share here though, we're going to talk about this 36% here, and before agents cap, how some of that money is redistributed to folks that do the recruiting. So in Keller Williams, when you sign on with Keller Williams, you name a sponsor. Now the sponsor is supposed to be the person that's most influential in bringing you to serious discussions. So when you create some money or you make some money in that profit share pool, it'll actually be paid out to your sponsor and to your sponsor's sponsor and on up that chain. Meanwhile, if you bring someone to serious discussions, if you bring someone to Keller Williams, they may name you as their sponsor. And if that sponsoree recruits someone and so on and so forth, you can create what they call a downline. When I first heard about this, I was a little bit skeptical. This sounds kind of like an MLM regime or a pyramid scheme. Here's a couple things to consider, is that there's no initial buy-in, there's no initial investment fee. The other thing to consider is that my wife and I were real estate agents with Keller Williams for quite a while and doing a lot of transactions before we really understand the nuances of this profit share system. So now that we're established agents, we really kind of view it as a bonus system. It's great. So when I discovered profit share a little more, I wanted to do the math and know exactly how much I could be paid on a given month. And really there's a lot of formulas that go into it, and so it gets complicated. And even if you know everyone you're downline and what they produce for a given month, it really is kind of impossible to figure out that exact math and know exactly how much you're going to get paid. Here's roughly some of the steps that go into it. So again, a market center, your market center is where your broker is based and all the support staff. That market center is out to produce profit. They take in those commissions, they pay their agent commissions out, and that market center has some commission left over. So they split that. It's roughly 50-50 between the market center owners and between that profit share KW pool. So then there's a thing called the profit share factor. KW keeps some of that, and then it breaks down how much profit share of that profit share pool each agent is producing. And then there's a profit share distribution per this downline distribution formula. So if you look here, if you've got an agent that you've recruited that has some profit share money for a given month, if they're at your first level or they're immediately below you, 50% of that money comes to you. Whereas take, for example, down here at the fourth level, only 5%. So really you want that profit share tree to be as wide as possible to recruit as many people in that front line, because really that's what pays well, and that's what's going to create a big tree in the long run. Here's a rule of thumb. For me in the Austin area, for the folks I have recruited in my front downline on that immediate level, I get about $800 to $1,000 a year per agent for everyone there. So finally, let me dive into a couple of profit share tips. Now, let me say right up the bat, there's some hype out there. There's a couple of papers that make profit share sound like just a great thing, right? They kind of paint the picture that, no kidding, you can make tons and tons of money and just have this passive income and sit on an island and sip Mai Tais. Folks, I got to tell you, recruiting's it's tougher than it sounds. There's a high level of turnover in real estate agents. There's one statistic that said 80% of agents quit within their first 2 years. Even if you got a great agent that's successful, they might go to another brokerage. So, don't count on just this huge downline right away. It really takes time to recruit someone, get them in, and have them produce. If you've got a new agent you're trying to recruit, focus on their needs. New agents they need leads, and they need mentorship. Now, the profit share system says there shouldn't be any promise or exchange if somebody names you as a sponsor, and I agree with that. I do offer my sponsorees a lot of mentorship, though. After all, the goal is to make them successful so they'll be successful for my profit share tree. Now, if I've got an experienced agent, I really focus on those commission splits that KW offers. There's folks out there leaving tons of money on the table for a year because they're under a commission split structure that isn't nearly as good as KW. So if you're a producing agent that's really cranking through a lot, you should look at KW and that cap structure. It can save you a lot of money. But finally, here's the number one way to get folks in your downline. Be a great real estate agent. After all, we came on board and we're agents, not for all this, but to go out there and find clients and form them, to negotiate for them, and to manage a transaction for them. And if you do that well, people are going to want to follow you, they'll flock to you, and you'll create a downline by default. So folks, this has been Carl Dieckmann. I work for Keller Williams, and this is a video about their profit share. If you've got any questions or comments, let me know. Please give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.